I need you for this date. I'm like, I just gave it away 5 minutes ago. What'd you close him for? X. I gave you double. No, triple. Got to the point that he's giving me my whole mortgage payment for the year.
Damn! What? I would have taken that, bro.
I'm like, I can't. It's not for sale. I gave them my word.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Raw Lens with your host, Lionheart. The show that takes you behind the curtain and into the raw, unfiltered stories of today's top creatives of entrepreneurs. Now listen, after countless DMs, tags, and people straight up stopping me on the street saying, when are you getting him on? Today, it's finally happening. By popular demand, we got the one and only Mr. DJ Alex in the building. This man isn't just a DJ, he's a full-blown experience. From luxury weddings to wild bat mitzvahs, he doesn't just show up, he shuts it down. Known for his sharp hosting, modern musical taste, and for bringing some of the hottest live talent in the Jewish entertainment scene. If DJ Alex is at your event, you already know it's going to be legendary. He's one of the most requested, most respected, and most booked entertainers out there. And today, we get to hear the story behind the sound. Mr. Alex, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So for anyone living under a rock, can you please tell everybody what you do?
My name is Alex Niazov. I am a host, DJ, event planner, father of 4, husband of 1. I like to create good vibes, good energy.
So what was the very first event you ever hosted or DJ'd, and how did you go? Like, how did it go for you?
All right, so it's an interesting beginning, the way it started. I was in Forest Hills High School, lunchroom cafeteria. The stores already had DJ Alex CDs, this and that, but I never touched the DJ system at that point. 2 guys, fellow classmates, said, listen, we're having a party, restaurant Shapira, downstairs. I need you there. What am I going to do? DJ. I don't know how to DJ. It's all by computers. I make CDs. Bring your CDs. We'll figure it out. I don't have a DJ system. Got you. I get there. I come with 4 CDs, restaurant Shapira. And I still remember the smell of the fog machine, it was like a memory that embedded in me. I press play. It's very easy, it's like a video game. It's a controller. Press play, volume up, volume down. I figured it out real quick, and that's it. I felt control. They're dancing. I stopped the music, they stopped dancing. I owned them, it was a ridiculous
like you control
feeling.
The crowd,
It's insane. And I came with 4 CDs. I had no idea that, what are you gonna do if that's enough, not enough? Вдруг одна девочка подбегает. You have some reggaeton? I'm like, what is that? Something we can grind to. What is that? So that's party number 1. Party number 2, we came in already with a big binder and so forth. I already knew how to proceed. For party number 3, I already borrowed $1,000 from my dad, bought my own DJ system, took the speakers from the house, did a house party for 2 girls, and they're twins. We did their birthday party in their house, and that's it.
And that's when you just decided, that's it, this is for me.
Yeah.
Wow, it's crazy how your whole life turned around from just that one party.
That's where it went, but no matter what, I still finished high school, college. I got my master's degree. My mom said, I don't care about any of this stuff. It's all irrelevant. I need to see a diploma.
What'd you get a master's degree in?
So my bachelor's is in psychology. My master's is children with disabilities.
Psychology. So that's why you're pretty good with the crowd hosting.
Yeah, I guess maybe it comes in a little bit relevant. You have the patience. I used to deal with the kids. I used to do that professionally, and then I kind of retired.
Yeah.
Can't split myself.
So was there one moment where everything shifted and you became that guy in the scene?
Honestly, I feel that I've been in the market for almost 2 decades now. I still have people telling me, you remember when you started, you did my party, you just started, and that was like 5 years ago, 6 years, 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm like, guys, I've been doing it for a while. I didn't start with you, but thank you for that big push. I feel that after I got married, which was about 10.5 years ago, I started taking the wedding market a little bit more by storm, but definitely right before COVID and definitely post-COVID.
Yeah.
So prior to COVID, that 2-year span, let's say pre-COVID, We definitely, I believe I started dominating the wedding scene. I see a great deal of improvement than from what I sounded like when I was younger. The confidence level is different, the style is different. But post-COVID, we did a bunch of quarantine nights. We did fundraisers, different things online. It was just from my basement.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, to this day, people still tell me, "You saved my life. You made me feel good." It was such a difficult time. For me, it was a thing, just I needed it.
Yeah.
Apparently it helped them too. But and apparently it was a great marketing move, not even intentional, but it did phenomenal.
I think it's a thing for all DJs that the only reason they become one is because they have a personality of where they want to make people happy, and they love that. They get satisfaction off
For me, work is therapy. 100%.
Of course, if you love what you do, it's therapeutic. 100%. Can you name the craziest thing that ever happened to you at a wedding or a bat mitzvah while you were hosting?
In a good way or a bad way?
It could be good, it could be bad.
Obviously, there are technical difficulties that happen. One of the most craziest experiences we've had bad fights. Bad fights.
Like what kind of fights?
I think there were 30 different fights simultaneously in different corners of the room.
No way.
At a wedding.
Where was this?
This is something for like truth or shot type of moment. We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Okay, so wow.
I'm very against those kind of people who can't handle their liquor and ruin somebody's special day. A wedding, in my opinion, is something holy, something so memorable, and there are people who don't respect where they're attending, where they're at. They don't know how to handle their liquor.
Of course, when they drink, they overdrink too much, then their ego boosts in, as soon as they have a lot to drink, and then they think that they're hot shit.
So I've witnessed very bad fights. I've witnessed guns being pulled out.
All right, I guess this is the night bitches die.
I've witnessed some crazy stuff. I've had an instance where the owner of the restaurant comes out. The fight is bad. You see people walking in from outside. Один фингал, один кровь, один это-то. She went and just chained up the front doors. Nobody in, nobody out.
Oh my God.
It,
that reminds me of a scene from Bronx Tale. Now yous can't leave.
Yeah.
Now you can't leave.
It was like that, and one, because they risk their liquor license for something like this happening. I've had instances where there was such a crazy fight. The guy walks out, the cops were called in, he opens the door for them, says, "He's downstairs." Walks out. That's it.
Wow.
So we've had I've had crazy moments. Those are from bad. Of course, there are technical issues. A battery could have run out.
Power outages.
Some venues are designed in such a way that if there's smoking in the building, the power turns off automatically. It's like a fire system. So and you have to, as a host, you have to know how to manipulate that situation in your favor. For example, I had a chuppah, the battery on the microphone died. One, it's not my responsibility, it's the responsibility of the sound engineer, but that's the situation. Sound engineer's in the other room. I send my assistant, get me the battery. Now, we're mid chuppah.
Mm-hmm.
I put the microphone down.
Mm-hmm.
Life goes on. I start hosting. How's everybody doing? We don't need this technology.
Technologia.
And they laughed. We laughed it off and moved forward. I've had instances where the power turned off.
I've seen that happen many times.
Power turned back on. Technically, you could be panicking. I'm smiling the whole time. Once the power turns on, I'm like, the venue, not gonna mention the name, made the payment to Con Edison. We're ready to continue.
I think we both know who the name is.
It happens. These things are unforeseen. It happens, but no matter what, you can't show that you're panicking. That's how you differentiate somebody who's
professionalism. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's how. Yeah, definitely. That's a good way of putting it. Never lose your cool, especially at work. What is the worst song someone ever demanded you play mid-event and that you also hated playing?
Oh, I have a great story. I hope she's not watching. Anyways, I'm doing a wedding. Beautiful, phenomenal wedding. Modern couple, modern crowd. Everything is amazing. The mother comes up and says, "Play the Macarena."
Oh my God.
I'm like, I cannot. I'm sorry. She tells me, "I'm paying. You work for me. I want the Macarena." I said, "I don't care. I can't play it. I'm sorry. This is a wedding." She got very mad. She was furious, actually. And I still got my envelope. And the crowd was very happy. And that's it. There was no Macarena.
Oh my god, the only time I actually hear the Macarena playing is like at American bat mitzvahs or something. I don't think I ever heard it at a wedding.
I feel like different cultures have different repertoire that's acceptable. For example, the Russian Brooklyn crowd craves oldies. They're still stuck on Mr. Saxo Beat, It's a Beautiful Life, It's My Life, which are all great songs. You know, that one, Danza Kuduro. When I see these songs in my request sheet from a bride and groom, I tell them there's a lot more new music we can do. And I feel like that's one of the things that I love as a DJ. I get to introduce new music.
That's true.
You know, that's one of the reasons why I started hosting, is because you need to do that introduction. You can't just play it and hope that it's going to be right. You have to преподнести это правильно.
Those songs are very cringy. Every time I hear that, it's cringe. It's like, really.
But believe it or not, nothing against my Brooklyn people, but they're used to a certain style. Then I take our Bukharian crowd, they have a different style as well. Different cultures, different styles. Once you get out of the New York City area, they're much easier to please. Once you graduate the Queen's wedding vibe, you could handle anybody. That's the toughest crowd, in my opinion.
What, Queens?
Our Bukharian people.
Of course.
You have so many personalities. You have the modern, the religious,
the sensitive-eared ones.
Different upbringings. There are those who they want to sit in front right by the stage, but сделать музыку тише. Что это такое? Это громко.
How do you deal with that? How do you deal with people just requesting music to be lower?
So, in all honesty, you get to choose where you sit, more or less.
Unless you get table cards, then...
You get table cards, but still, you get to choose. Will you sit under the speaker or not? And those who are creating these table cards should take into consideration. You can't put a 75, 85-year-old person under the speaker, logically, How do we deal with it? We smile. We lower it a little bit. Yes, of course, but in reality, even if I lower it by 10%, it's not going to make a difference. 20% is not going to make a difference. You're not going to be happy in that seat.
Guys, and not even that. You have a bunch of musicians playing with you. They all have their own sounds, which adds more to making it louder. No matter how much you bring it down, it's always going to be the same. As someone in the Jewish community, do you feel added pressure to perform a certain way or maintain a certain image?
100%. I think image is everything. You'll never see me come to a wedding in a t-shirt,
Always in a tux.
Presentation is everything. I work with a certain clientele. A lot of my clients are frum, which means religious, even though I do have very modern clients at the same time. And I feel like a certain level of behavior is necessary. You won't catch me drinking at a wedding or picking food off the table or anything like that. Nothing to say bad about those who do, but I always feel like I'm under a microscope and I have to act and behave a certain way because this isn't my hobby. This is my livelihood. This is my profession. So I feel like presentation is key, performance, consistency is key, and I do have to act a certain way. I mean, I'm not some kind of perfect specimen, but I'm not gonna be coming out of a non-kosher place or that kind of stuff. It's wrong. It doesn't work right. So just a little, I hope I answered that question.
Now obviously you're very popular, but how do you manage being the most requested host DJ in the scene?
I ask God for more.
How do you manage being the most requested?
Again, I think the word that it returns back to is consistency. You got to deliver results. How do I manage?
Like manage meaning in terms of let's say you have bookings every single day, but let's say you have 2-3 bookings every single day. Like, how do you manage all that, especially with personal life and career? Like, how do you manage all that?
So I feel the challenge in that sense, handling it, is to turn off from your personal life, to cancel it out once you get to work. That weight on your shoulders if your child is sick, God forbid, or once you get to work, you gotta click back. You're there to make people happy. Мой папа всегда говорит: ты человек праздник, ты должен зайти и все. It's not a matter of management. It's just it clicks on. It has to be that way. I had a scary situation about a year and a half ago. 5-10 minutes before the chuppah starts, I get a frantic phone call, and my son, he poured himself a hot glass of tea ended up spilling it on himself.
Oh man.
It was a 3rd-degree burn.
Ouch.
And I got to start the chuppah ceremony. I have a Hatzalah truck outside of my house. You know, that's my blood is suffering, and I'm not there for them at their most scariest moment. I felt like somebody poured cement into my feet. I can't move because, again, 600 people are relying on me to do something, and I'm stuck.
So how did you handle that situation?
Thank God for my wife, my family. My brother was there before I think Hatzalah even arrived. It was like that kind of support system. They said, everything is okay. We got this covered. You do what you have to do. And it's very difficult to activate happy mode in such a situation, you know, but thank God I had the right support system with me at work. They put me together and they said, snap out of it. You got to work.
That's good that you're blessed with family like that.
I put on the smile, and that event went by, and I'll never forget how I was getting the thumbs up messages from my son already, all bandaged up, this and that. And it's one of the challenges of my job. I don't get to take a personal day, a sick day. Yeah, I've had weddings where I showed up with 104 fever.
Oh my God.
You know,
yeah,
with a cup of hot water, just opening it up as much as possible. But
wow.
Yeah, these are challenges. You have to overcome it. In terms of how to overcome the double bookings, I feel like that's any DJ's, any performer's biggest fear, because we are human after all. It happens.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I have a Sunday off, I'm scared. Like
why?
It's so rare, and I'm like, maybe I forgot to write it down. What? And I'm just waiting 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, if anybody's going to call. Okay, we're clear. Nobody called. We can go out.
Oh, man. That must suck just waiting for it. Yeah.
It's rare. And then I'm like, I hope I didn't miss it. You know, it's like at the end of the day, you're the accountant. You're everything. You're scheduling it. You're meeting with them.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot. We don't just press buttons. It's not just press play. There's a lot more involved, but we make it look fun and easy.
I always have a curious question. Do DJs even have like offices to consult with, like, you know, people at events or something?
I used to have an office space. I really, truly found no use to it, in all honesty. Currently, if the need comes to be that I have to meet with the client, I either meet on their premise or we find something, I host them by me. A lot of my clients, believe it or not, it's gotten to the point that, thank God, I don't even get on the phone with them. It's a text message. Are you available on this date? Book it.
Got it.
And I meet them the day of the wedding. There's no such thing as, you know, let's sit down, давайте составим программу. I have a template, fill it out. We're in the 21st century. Utilize it.
Do they fill out contracts?
To those clients who do request a contract, I send it out to them, and my contract is very, very strict, like
strict to
but they asked for it. They want a contract. Yeah. To people within our community, handshake, have a good day.
Of course. Yeah.
I've had instances where situations arise, you end up taking this deposit, this and that, and you know, things didn't work out. By contract, their deposit is void, you know, but then you have a heart and you know this person's going to come back to you.
Yeah.
You tell them, you know, this is your credit, use it for the next event, or you need it back, no problem.
Credit.
I had those people come back to me, you know, you gave it back to me, ty muzhik. Technically that's not the purpose of the deposit, but you see the situation, you see that it's not a pleasant situation. Things happen. It is what it is.
That's good. Yeah, it's even good. You could use it as credit. Exactly.
The credit part makes more sense in my opinion. Either way, you're gonna get married, this and that. But I've had instances where they literally fought for that deposit, and post-COVID, we didn't know how to act about it, because it's like you give up the date, you didn't take a job.
Mm-hmm.
If they're canceling you months in advance, 8-9 months, it's fine. But if they're giving you a cancellation within 30 days, forget the deposit. I want the full payment.
You gonna give me my money? Where's my money, man?
But по-человечески, I don't feel like it's right to keep the deposit.
Here's the thing about deposits. Now listen, in any realm of booking anybody, when you give a deposit, you secure a date for that person to come to your event to provide his services. Now, let's say something changes and you want to reschedule, or you don't want to be with that person, but yet that person already booked you on his day. He could have had another job that day, so he
100%.
lost out money.
Technically, if you go based off a contract, a deposit means that we are now in contract I've committed to you, you've committed to me. I'm no longer taking anyone for that date unless it's an unforeseen circumstance. I think in the contract it says natural disaster,
or death.
yeah, something has to be something powerful. Unfortunately, within our community, very often they think it's like a IOU type of thing, or like, you know, hold on to it just in case, but если не получится, can I get it back? You know, and then comes the question, how do you go about it? Do you give it back? Do you not give it back? It depends on the situation. It depends on the person. It depends on how they ask. You know, sometimes people are just such good-hearted people, and please take it back. It's fine. Credit. Call me your next event, this and that. And then there's those who just come at you in the most aggressive way. And it's like, dude. Then there's different scenarios. Like if they called you, gave your deposit, and called you the next day, we decided we're not doing it. Take it back. It's like, I don't need it. It's not fair money. If they call you 30 days before the event and they tell you, listen, I decided we're going on vacation instead, but I didn't take other clients for that date.
Exactly.
You know, I'm committed to you. I turned down other people.
You lost out on money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a touchy topic. I think like some people might take it very offensively. Some people... Case by case basis. I think that's the saying. Case
by case basis, yes. With all due respect to everybody out there, we just want respect in the business. This show is about perspective. Well, you don't see what goes on. Now, just because you gave a deposit doesn't mean you can get that money back. It all depends on the scenario.
Scenarios differentiate, different situations, different reasoning. Just a matter of approach. I forget deposits. When you speak to someone, when they speak to you respectfully, you get respect back. When the phone call starts, алло, слушай сюда, it's right away, I'm not available on that date. Дальше не интересно даже, you know?
So now, usually my truth or shot segments are very short, but today is different. Today we have a very long truth or shot segment. Are you ready?
Not a big drinker, so there's going to be a lot of truth in this one.
Let's do this. How do you feel about other DJs or hosts mimicking your style or branding?
I've had moments where I've caught other DJs taking the recording, the audio files of events that I've DJ'd. I hear my samples playing in the back and literally my entire set being played. That's annoying because that's my work. But that's that person's way of getting business. I can't call them out on it. In terms of hosting, how many different ways can you say ladies and gentlemen? You know, I also get where you sound like somebody. Okay, we happen to sound alike. It's not intentional. It just so happens to be. Again, there are moments where I've seen other hosts or DJs literally word for word
copying
it word for word, and then but it sounds childish, and I'm like, you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
There's the bootleg and then there's the real deal.
Yeah.
So I don't let it really affect me. I'm so busy with my own life that I can't.
You don't have time for the BS.
You know. But I feel I have called out certain people and I told them, listen, you're doing something, be creative. Use your own imagination. Don't sit there, Shazam my entire set and then replicate it. Yeah, it could be replicated. It's not that difficult. My 5-year-old can replicate it as well. But be creative. That's the whole purpose. That's my signature. Like I feel like every year I go through a different style. Either guaracha, Colombian house, Afro house. Every year is like a different little niche that I take.
Yeah.
Because something new came out and I'm trying to push it more to our people to introduce them something new. And you know, it's at the end of the day, my job is to read the crowd and give them what they want. You can't use what I used for that crowd and put it in your party, fingers crossed, hoping it'll work. That's why that party ends up not good, because that's not that crowd that I was using.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
So this whole copy-paste format, there's a saying, often imitated, never duplicated. You know, they can try, but at the end of the day, it's a style. It's a vibe.
Speaking of style, now I have another question for you. There's been some controversy about live DJs and live bands. The difference between live bands is that they want to hear, like guests want to hear live music and not DJs. What's the thoughts on that? DJs versus live bands.
I implement a DJ band hybrid for weddings. I push it. Technically, I could tell a customer, you don't need a band. Take strictly a DJ. I'm a DJ. I replace 40 musicians. I could tell them that. But my honest belief is that I love music, and I feel that a live band presence is necessary, especially when you're in the wedding market. The stage doesn't look proper. It's for a lot to do with aesthetics. If you have proper musicians, I try to surround myself by the proper talent. I feel like a DJ is a great thing, but it's definitely not a replacement to a live band. And when they're working in conjunction with each other, it creates a beautiful effect. There's moments, I feel like you can't start off a wedding as a club right away. It's not gonna work. It's a wedding at the end of the day. Bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, maybe you can get away with this.
But how do you handle the hate of, like, there's a lot of, there's a few hosts out there that don't like DJs. They rather just perform, like, singing in their own live bands.
I feel like everybody, myself included, has an expiration date, and it's a matter of time. Time changes people's demands and expectations. If you don't meet the expectations and you don't meet the demands of your clientele, eventually you fade out. However, with that being said, every person will still have their fan base, their clientele. They might not be as popular, but I feel like that's when price goes up. To compensate for you working less, you're still making the same. At the end of the day, not everybody gets to drive a Rolls Royce. True. And their prices just go higher and higher. Their clientele respect them for that because they cost that much. If you think about it, you got 4 tires, you got the doors, they got an engine, it gets you from A to Z. The end product is more or less the same, but it's a matter of the class that it associates with.
How you get there,
To those who can hate and who can talk, that's in any business.
100%. It's in any business. I agree with you.
And if you sit there to be a people pleaser, I gotta please upstairs. If he's happy with me, I'm good.
Yes, definitely. What's the most disrespectful thing a guest or client ever said to you at an event, and did you clap back? Now, obviously, I want to talk about a very important aspect in your business, or any business in the matter, is the term of respect. Being a DJ, I can understand how it must be and feel to get disrespected at an event. How do you handle or tolerate guests that had a little too much to drink and then they approach you and start something?
The most disrespectful, hurtful, painful moment I've ever experienced in my job was at an event. A grandmother came up, gave $20, requested a song. We played the song, we said it's from this grandma, da-da-da-da. She comes back and says, that's not the song that I wanted. I said, no problem. I'm in the middle of a set, it's loud, write it down, we'll play. You know what? And I'm gonna say it in English. All you care about is the money. You want me to give you another 20. May you spend this money on the sicknesses of your children.
How dare you! That's my...
And the moment she said that, the blood went from here to my feet. I became cold. I was frozen. Like, you touched my kids? At that moment, the owner of the restaurant, he was standing right beside me. He was controlling the lights. He grabs me like this. Shh. And I didn't know what to do at that moment. Like, she touched my kids. This is holy. I stopped the music completely, and imagine they're all dancing. I just stopped the music. I'm like, the next song is a special dedication from this woman, this grandmother, this amazing woman, to her grandson. And she looked at me, and I'm like, I'm a killer of kindness, But inside, I didn't know. I was shocked, and it hurt a lot. I felt like, listen, at the end of the day, this is music. This is a fun vibe, and you gave a curse. It's disgusting,
So, I have something to help with that. I also, in the business, DJ, videographer, I have also a lot of people come up to me, especially the older generation. And I say this authentically. If I have somebody old, grandma, grandpa, whatever, come up to me and start some shit like that and say some stupid retarded shit, I say in my head, I have to respect the retarded. I have to, because they do not realize what comes out of their mouths.
I just feel like kids are off limits. I feel like kids are off limits.
Don't ever touch family, ever. Don't ever touch family. What's one popular Jewish singer or performer you think is overrated but would never say publicly?
But your question is set up in such a way I would not say it publicly. So clearly this is a public platform.
I told you, I got you, bro.
There are people, the person who will publish poetry in the Bukharian Times, create scandalous situations, bash DJs, but I clearly know who they're talking about. That person can express his feelings. I feel like you tied up that question previously. We kind of dwelled upon. Everybody knows who is who. I don't have to mention it. But if you're going on your path, I don't really care. He's irrelevant. It's like, you know, that's the same person who called me out and said when during COVID we were raising funds for Hatsala, for High Lifeline, and they're like, how do we know where this money is going? My man, it's a button on Facebook. I have nothing to do with it. It goes straight into their account. But since you questioned my intentions and the authenticity of this platform, I had the rabbi write out a whole letter. We got $88,000 raised from my basement with no marketing.
Wow.
At a time when people were not making money for a great organization.
Wow.
And I sent it to that person. I'm like, here, you want to report it on the radio, how you mentioned the fact that you questioned where this money is going. Now you know where it's going. Then take a cut. No, they don't even know who I am. I just did it. And our people put the money on the table.
100% you're taking the shot for this. I know it. You're not backing out on this one. Name one big name DJ or host you think is riding on hype but no talent. Truth or shot.
There are DJs out there. It's not about they have talent, but I can't say a name. It's wrong.
Okay, so you're taking the shot, man.
Davai.
We have tequila. Let's do this.
Gotta get advertising funds on this already.
Bro, straight up, man. Sponsor me, yo.
To the question we didn't answer, I'm not out here to put people's names down.
Good.
Yeah.
Now that we got that out of the way,
Dada?
have you ever had any beef with another entertainer in the Jewish community?
Not with an entertainer, but I did have a beef with a guest at a party.
Do tell.
Had somebody... I can't say the stuff yet. I'm still in the business, bro. It's like I'll see them
You're
again
not
and
saying the name.
I don't think we had beef, but we had instances where customer called again, but I can't give out this information. It's still...
It's the truth or shot, bro.
Guys, it's like HIPAA violation, you know? But in my world, my HIPAA.
Got it. That's it.
Let me finish my shot. I'm good.
Okay, yeah.
Just get my pickle ready.
That's the point of this. It's like, if you don't want to answer, you just take a shot.
You know, I was raised in such a way that when we drink, we have to say something. So since this is your show, you say something first.
Okay. Mr. Alex, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's a privilege and honor to have you here by request. Ever since I started the show, I think the second or third interviewer, I'm like, yo, I gotta have him on the show.
I honestly, I've been watching your podcasts. I enjoy the people that you invite. I enjoy the content. It's raw.
Yep, that's why it's called the Raw Lens.
When you told me to come, I told you right away I'm boring. I don't know if you guys are still watching and you're interested in all this, but I'm more fun on stage. So
listen, you're fun anywhere, man. You're good to talk to. I enjoy your company.
to the success of your show.
Thank you very much. To the success of your business.
Oh man, yours too.
Thank you.
You know, when the day comes and we retire, we could look back at this and then we can already give all the fun, juicy information.
Yes.
We have HIPAA right now, guys.
Hi. Have you ever been offered something inappropriate or wild after a party?
I'm married.
But have you ever been offered?
I have a fun job, but I behave.
That's a good answer.
I come home at night.
That's a good answer.
But
Ooh.
before I got married, I got a crazy proposition to work as a DJ in a strip club. They were paying $5,000 a night, plus the girls split the tips with you. And I came home and I told my dad this idea. He goes, I need a son. You're not gonna get married like that. And My dad made sure I never did anything stupid like that. But there's good money there.
100% there's good money. Have you ever charged someone more just because they were difficult or annoying during booking?
No, so when it comes to pricing, I don't price my clients out based on their last name, their difficulty level, or anything like that. But I've had instances where in the negotiation process, the mom was so difficult that her daughter is sitting there and lipping to me, "I'm so sorry," you know, and I'm swallowing it. They're saying ridiculous things like, "For what? Why you for what?" And I'm like, "Don't take me. There's the door. Go." "But my kids want you." "Okay, so that's the price. For what?" And I'm like, and again, I closed the job. We did everything. Everything was phenomenal. I tried to not make any communication with that woman. At the end of the night, she came up to me. She did say, "I'm very sorry. You delivered." And they were very happy. But to me, it's that I'm a very sensitive person. I'm a Virgo. I feed off of people's energy.
So you get what you want as a Virgo. That's your personality. You want to, if you want it, you get it.
I'm very determined. I don't give up. I love to. Если мне в голову ударило, good luck. You know, it's also like it's a hard-headed attitude. It's a personality that will get what he wants. It's not always the best thing, but in terms of if I don't like you, it's hard for me to fake it. I will show it. When it comes to my job, I can't show it. So it's like this argument, and I gotta be professional.
So what's the worst bridezilla you ever had?
Bridezilla, I've had a groomzilla, but if you want to hear a story, I'll give you two. Bridezilla, I had a mother of the bride come up to me and said, "Add this person to the chuppah ceremony." She's the mom. She has every right. I added it. Bride comes up to me after the wedding, after the chuppah ceremony. "Why'd you add that person?" "Your mom asked." "I'm in charge." "Yeah, but you're back there. I'm over here. The mom asked." "She's your mom." "She's your mom." And I learned from that point, never make a change to the chuppah list unless the bride and groom approve. They created the list. They have to approve it. I will not make any change. I won't change the song. Nothing. Bride and groom. You know, I had a situation. I let AI calculate my bill for the client.
And did it work?
It messed up.
What?
The first time AI added the bill, I gave the bill to the client. The client paid me. He calls me the next day. "Bro, how come it costs so much?" I'm like, "I don't know." I said, I didn't even open the envelope. It's during wedding season. I don't get a chance to go to the bank. So I'm like, let's count it. And I'm like, dude, you're right. You know what I did? I went to ChatGPT. I told him to add it up, and it miscounted. I'm like, but I'll drop it off to you in 5 minutes. Yeah, but I cannot owe somebody money. It's like not in my personality. And just recently, I had a crazy party, crazy event, and I let ChatGPT do the math for me. And after receiving the payment, and I'm trying to crunch all of this, trying to make sense of it, I'm short by a lot. And I'm like, but I already shook hands with the guy.
How much short are you?
It was a couple of grand. It hurt.
Oh my god.
And I couldn't say anything to the client. I couldn't say anything to them because it was my mess up.
Oh my
because
god.
whatever I was short on, he added a good tip on top, and it came out to be whatever.
So kind of evened out.
Kind of evened out, but for me to tell him, by the way, I counted wrong after he gave a tip would be wrong. You know, so I had to eat it. It hurt.
Well, listen, now you know never to trust AI.
Yeah, I need an accountant.
So, we have surprise truth or shot questions.
Oh.
You're going to drink that right now. Who's the one vendor, photographer, caterer you refuse to work with ever again? Drink up, bitch. Drink up.
No, I know bitch. I know bitch. There are musicians that I don't want to work with. They come from Israel. Bahrain ones.
Who's the one vendor? It doesn't matter who.
The vendors, I'm good with everybody.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Everybody. Okay. Good so far.
Back in the day, there were vendors. They already closed down those restaurants.
Ah, so it worked in your favor.
In the beginning, they screwed me on some money. They were difficult to collect from. Back in the day, in the DJ world, you would get hired by the restaurant. And I'm talking about, that's like when we were getting paid $150 for a gig.
Oh my god. Wow.
Yeah, and you'd have to sit there and be like, "А можно зарплату? Сегодня нету." Okay.
Back then, $150 was like what? In today's money, it would be like
$300.
$300 now, yeah.
But I started like that in restaurant Mazal. That was my That was kind of like gig number 4, 5, 6, and then 300. I started over there. We did a few New Year's over there. It was crazy. Honestly, that place was popping. He had this restaurant, that restaurant, the basement. He was killing it.
Damn, man. Tell us about the one gig you regret doing the most and why.
I don't have gigs that I regret.
There has to be some.
Oh.
Gotcha, bitch.
You just remembered.
No, so I had a gig once. The guy calls me, booked me for a wedding. I booked him. 5 minutes later, I get a phone call from this amazing, open-handed guy. I need you for this date. I just gave it away 5 minutes ago. What'd you close him for? X. I give you double. No, triple. Got to the point that he's giving me my whole mortgage payment for the year.
What? I would have taken that, bro.
I'm like, I can't. It's not for sale. I gave them my word. I can't do it.
Wow.
Believe it or not, 2 days before the wedding date, I get a phone call. We can't do the wedding on this date. I'm like, guys, I turned down the biggest payout in my life.
A mortgage payment, bro.
For the year.
Oh,
like,
my.
I'm talking about, it was the biggest payout, and that's just for me. Forget the band, that's just for me.
Oh my god.
So I called this guy back. I'm like, listen, I know the deal's not on the table. He goes, Alex, I have 2 DJs for this wedding already. He's like, I booked a big DJ and this, that. I'm like, I'm coming as a guest. He was like, no, don't worry. I'm going to call the other guy. I'm going to send him his full payment. He stays home. You're coming. I didn't get that massive payout, but I got paid very well, substantially very well. And it just goes to show, we give our word. We can't back out. But they could just make a phone call and say, by the way, it's not happening.
Oh, I hate when that happens, yo.
You know?
Oh my god, man.
Again, based on the contract, forget the deposit. Within 30 days, if you cancel, you're responsible for the full payout.
100%.
I didn't pursue them.
Did you have him write a contract?
Yeah, everything is in a contract. But I didn't pursue them. I wouldn't do that. Good couple, good people. I have nothing against them. But it could have been a sick payout.
My god.
Sick
Wow. So now we have a new segment for the first time ever in the Raw Lens. It's called the Red Button Moment. You've been in this game for years, seen it all, and worked with the best. Who is one person in the Jewish event scene that everyone respects publicly, but behind closed doors, people say they're a nightmare to work with?
I can't do Lashon Hara.
Shoot the shot.
I'll take the shot.
There you go.
So you had your speech, now it's my turn. To all of you who are watching, I drink this shot in honor of all the happy occasions I'm able to service, and Leon is able to do that as well. We're there for you for your happy days, and as easy as we make it look, we have to put aside our feelings, our health, our this, our that. We're there for you. I drink that we have the opportunity to be there for you for a long time to come. It doesn't matter if I hit the lottery tomorrow. I do this as a passion, with love, and I hope that we have these happy occasions. I hope that we continue to have our celebrations. I hope that we get to see our kids go in the right path and bring us good news. You know, the wedding market is a special market. This is the people that I see. I did Brit Milas for my Khatans at this point. You know, so I'm getting a little older and I'm seeing this and I'm like, wow, time is flying.
Yeah.
And it's a magical feeling. I hope it continues. I hope that I'm there for my community. I love my community, and it's an honor to do what I do. Like, honest to God, I love what I do. So I drink to the community. They feed us, and I drink to us because we service them.
Amen to that, brother. Amen. And that is a wrap for this week's episode of The Raw Lens. Please make sure to like and subscribe to DJ Alex. Please make sure to like and subscribe to The Raw Lens on YouTube. Mr. DJ Alex, thank you so much for being on the show tonight. It was an honor and pleasure to have you.
The honor is all mine. It was a pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much, and we will see you next time on the next week's episode of The Raw Lens. Stay tuned.